The greatest gift you can give to another human being is to introduce them to the God who loves them. The greatest gift that you can give to any other human being is to introduce them to the God who loves them. Folks, if you have ever had the opportunity to share Christ with someone, and they experience God's love for the very first time, that they are totally loved, totally accepted, totally forgiven for whatever it is, you'll give them a gift that will last for all eternity. Because the greatest gift that you can give another human being is to introduce them to the God who loves them. How do you become the type of Christ follower who looks for opportunities to present Christ as often as possible? Again, folks, we're not going to beat down anybody with the Bible, but we're going to share God's love with anyone. And people have had a difficult year. You and I have. They're looking for good news, and we're going to talk how we can do this. Now, the first step that you'll see there is that it says you are to pray daily. Pray daily. So each day, what I want to encourage you to do is to say a prayer that I've prayed for about the last 20 years or so. And each day, this is the prayer I pray. God, place one person in my path that I could show God's love. And if you do, I'm willing to present Christ in any way that's needed. It doesn't always mean that it's a big conversation. It might just be in kind acts that you're doing to someone. But each morning, I wake up and I pray, God, would you place somebody in my path that I could show your love, and I'll present Christ if it opens. Secondly, to connect with people weekly. That you connect with people weekly. And then finally, we actually have to take the risk to invite somebody to try out church. So right now, what I'd like you to do is pull out that card that I talked about earlier in the celebration. And we've talked about all of that, but on the other side, there's kind of this diagram. And what I'd like you to do for just a moment, the blue circle right in the middle, if you could just write your name. So whatever your name is, hopefully you know your name, you could just go ahead, write your name there. And what I'd like you to do is to simply start asking God who it is that He would like you to invest in, who it is that He would like you to show His love, who is it that He would like you to present Christ to. There are people around you, coworkers, neighbors, friends, that you're with all the time that you could show love to. And those are the names God knows you have the greatest influence with. So what I'd like you to do right now is to start asking God, who is it that you're wanting me to just start praying for? Who is it that I could reach out to take a risk, to pray, to connect? Maybe someday it might be an invitation. This is what I want you to know, is that at one time, Jim and Phil and Eric were all part of my circle of three. And it all started with praying for them and then connecting with them and then inviting them. And then God did something in their life. And it's so amazing when you can see Him moving.